This is the second part of this painting process. We're going to focus more onto the face, and then we'll finish the painting with the final balance. You know, I use exclusively the brushes from Enjoying Art. Order yours today at enjoyingart.com brushes. Do not rush into the details yet. We need to pay full attention right now is to get the value of the colors correctly. Now we already have the background established the correct value that we want. Now we're gonna looking at evaluate the red, yellow, or blue colors on the face. Squint your eye, you will see a little bit better about the value of each of the colors. Okay, now I'm gonna just have a little red, and maybe have the red color go all the way from the top to the bottom. Okay, now here you go. Look at the top over here. We have see a little bit more red color right over there. So this is glazing the light color on top of that. So mostly glazing, you can just directly use the primary color. Okay, this is good. Like that. And come into the cheek over here. That's good. Alright, all the way coming down here. Now you can see the color a lot richer. And I'm going to go all the way down over here. Okay, and we're going to have a little bit blue color. And another round. Okay, I'm going to take a look and add a little water because there's a little bit less of the red. The nose also have some red color over here. That's good. And here you go. Keep going. On the cheek over here. Glazing over there. And they have the color coming up over here. You see the highlight. The highlight is right in this area. So we're gonna leave that alone. Okay, this is good. Is that immediately improve the color, but the bottom over here is going to be a little bit darker. Let's get all the way down over here and go into the neck. The whole neck, it will be darker too. Okay, that's good. Now take a look at the side here, and I'm going to mix the yellow and the red and a little bit blue. Now I have a little bit blue color here. Okay, here we go. That's good. I'm going to have this color right over there. And have a little bit over here too. And now the edge over here even darker. But we're not going to rush into that. And let that get a little bit dry first. Okay, here we go. The bottom over here. Okay, this is good. That's also when glazing over. And we're going to let it dry before we're going back to... this is a little bit texture. Now glaze that, smooth that a little bit. Now we're gonna leave the face alone for a few minutes. Now I'm gonna come in to look at the hair. So take a look at the red, get some yellow, and this is the blue color. That's the blue right over there. I'm just gonna take a little bit blue with the yellow and the red, and get a little bit tiny more yellow. Okay, a little bit tiny more yellow. This is good. Okay, coming over here. Now we can see the color of the hair. Okay, here you go. Now I'm going to put this a little bit softer. Okay, this is very light, so making this jump out a little bit too much. Okay, like that. Take a little bit yellow. Okay, here we go. That's good. Coming over here. You can make the edge a little bit softer, like that. Look a little bit more connected. Okay, now take a look over here. There you go. Now soft a little bit. Now get a little bit better. We just get the overall tone right now. We're going to get into a little bit more and more into the details. Like the hair over there is going to be later, right? So let's take a look. Take a look at the neck over here. Now you have the eye over there. So now you can see the neck. Where this neck is going to stop. Squint your eyes. See the angular line coming down over here. Okay. Measurement is very important for representational painting. So if you feel a little bit weak in that area, okay, you should learn how to compare and measure and take a look at the bottom of the ear compared to the nose. So when you squint your eye, you can see a little bit better. Now right here, they're coming in a little bit more, connect to thinking about the shape of the eye, the nose, how to relate that over here. Now you can find the bottom of the ear should be here. Like that. So this is great. And looks like the neck, the jaw area would be right in here. Okay, now we're going to put a little bit brown color over here too. Now here you go, like coming up a little bit. Now this is good. Now right under here, I'm going to make just a little bit tiny, a little bit lighter brown color. Now take a look at the front over here is correct already. That's good. Now the value of the neck is getting improved. So I have very little indication. Now take a look at the jaw area. The jaw area should be here coming up. Let's take a look at one more time and squint my eye. So be focused. I think it's go a little bit more here. That's just right. And take a look at the location of the eye. That is correct. Now making a firm decision. Yeah, need to look carefully. So this is good. I'm gonna have this just a little bit lighter. Okay, like that. It's softly coming up that way. Okay, that's good. And the bottom over here is going to be darker. But right now we don't need to worry too much. I'm gonna make this a little bit softer, a little bit soft transition under the ear. Okay, like that. This is good. And now the face is already dry by now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna continue moving on to that's just the shadow over here we need to work on a little bit more. Now looking at that color, it's also a little bit like a light brown color. Okay, that has maybe have a little bit tiny more red. Okay, this is the color. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna put that color right in here. That's very important. Okay, here we go. Right there. Look everything as shapes. Okay, coming over here. This is good. Now I have a little bit more tiny blue. I'm going to take a little bit blue from here. There's a lot of blue. And near the eye, that is a little bit cooler color, right? Okay, take a look at that. There's a little bit more blue. And I can have this. There we go. There's the side over here, the eye. Also a little bit darker color. I'm going to have that right in the middle over here, like that. This is good. And the bottom of the eye have a little bit shade. That's good. Now getting the shape correctly. That's very important. Okay, this is good. And the eye, inside the eye, we see a little bit more the little bit cooler color as well. So I'm gonna have this actually have this a little bit blue color coming up over here too. You see a little bit turning, and also the hair over here, a little bit turning over. So this is good. Now we're gonna take a look at the nose on this side. Okay, this need to be a little bit darker a bit on the side over here, a little bit darker. Okay, here we go. Now take a look. That's good. A little bit shadow under. That's good. Now we get the form, gradually getting the form better and better. I'm going to just soften that a little bit tiny. Okay, don't overdo it. Now I'm going to take a look at the top of the nose. It looks a little bit coming in a little bit too much. And now I need to use the flat brush. Okay, use the flat brush. You can do a little bit better job of softening. Okay. Now over here, I'm going to softening, make the nose a little bit tiny higher. Okay, here you go. Okay, it's already improved. Now I'm going to softening that a little bit more. Okay, softening a little bit, go into the shadow side. And then I'm going to recreate the difference, the separation between the shadow and the light. I can actually, if I want to, I can totally remove that difference. Okay, let's give it a few more times. This is good. Okay, that's good. Okay, this is pretty good now. Now it's very much like I lost it already. Can you see how this flat brush work? This is good. All right, let it dry before we come back. And I take a look at the top over here. This is already good. I'm gonna just keep using this brush. I'm gonna take a look at using this a little bit tiny gray color. I have this coming in from here. This is good, like that. And some areas is very subtle. It's not really jump out that much. Over here can be a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna light up a little bit over here. This is called adjusting process. I always have adjusting step in the process. Okay, that's good. So you can put any color you want into the painting, and then later you're going to start using the flat brush to adjust it. Okay, over here on top of the mouth too, I think the angle over here can come out a little bit. So now I'm going to have this a little bit softer, and I'm going to redefine it after. Okay, that's good. All right. Yeah, that's good. Now I come back to just have a little bit tiny more red color. Now here we go. Now I'm gonna put this whole area. Can you see that? This whole area. It needs to be more red. That's good. Like that. I'm gonna have a little bit more coming over here. All the way to the neck. So use the large brush, make you to focus and make you to pay full attention to how the thing's turning. Now I'm gonna come into using the calligraphy brush. Now take a look. I'm gonna just take this color. Take a look right on the outside of the nose. Look at the outside nose related to the eye. It's about right here, right? This is good. Coming in a little bit over here. Coming in a little bit closer. This is good. And this is good. Right. Nice. And the lower lip over here, it'll be fine. And don't worry about this is going to be dry just in a matter of a few minutes. So this is fine over here. I'm going to take a look at other areas in the head area. So take a little bit yellow. I'm going to take a look, mix a little brown color. Okay. So take a look at that again. A little bit red and the blue color. Be patient. Okay, here we go. Right in here. That's a little bit darker. Okay, here we go. Like that. Coming down a little bit. That's just the shape. Now we're gonna put a few darker shape, and it's going to tighten the structure of the whole portrait together. Have light color, dark color. Okay, over here, like that. I'm gonna have this a little bit, lot more blue at the top over here, like that. That's a little bit darker color, and here you go. Here you go. That's just good, like that. And I have a little group right over here, and here you go. And I have a little bit tiny. That's just good, and I have a little gap. And I'm gonna make this a little bit tiny more darker. I'm gonna take a look at the bottom of the ear right over here. And then we're gonna have a little bit more red color in the ear. Just to remember, the ear always appear to be warmer. Okay. Okay, the neck over here. Okay, that's good. right, the middle over here. And this is good. I can be a little bit light up a little bit, tiny more. And I can have this a little bit softer too. Okay, so keep squinting your eye so you see things better. Now I'm going to start working into the outside over here. The face is almost dry, so we can give it a few minutes. And don't work into the eye. That's just a little bit too soon. So you have to create the illusion of the structure of the area before you walk into the area. That's good. Yeah. You don't have to, but this way will save you more effort. So your focus always from the outside to the inside. Okay, here you go. Have this a little bit, build up the structure over here. Okay, that's good. Gonna have a little bit dry brush. That's just good. Getting there. And looking on this side. Now I'm gonna start. Have a little bit, a few small shape on the top. That's just good. Now I'm gonna have a little bit brown color. So get a little bit more red in here. Mix it with the blue. Okay, this is good. Let's take a look at this shape. Now this shape is going to create the contour of the forehead. Okay, here you go. Like that. That's good. That's good. Simple. And coming down over here. Like that. This is good. Now I'm going to have just tiny, a little bit lighter, get a little bit more yellow. Okay, here we go. Coming on the outside over here. Take a look at the contour of the eye. And outside of the eye, this is good. And look at it again. A little bit more in. Tiny, tiny more in. And that's it. That's good. I'm going to have this a little loose here on the outside. Like that. This is good. And don't make it look too dry though. So I'm going to just add a little bit tiny more water. Here you go. And if this color coming into the face, that it will be fine too. Okay, coming out down over here. And have a little gap. And showing the background. This is good. Okay, take a look at that. Is good. I'm going to actually use the color actually coming into the face. It will be fine. Okay, that's good. Like that. And a little bit very thin. You can see that here looks very interesting, right? Okay, here you go. And now we're gonna have a little bit darker. Okay, a little bit darker right here. Going to be here at the bottom. Now let's use a little bit darker color. And just a little bit darker, a little bit more red and the blue color. I'm going to take a look at the outside as we talk about from the outside to the inside, right? So here you go. Now making that shape. Right, good. And you're going to see how this is going to be step by step. It's going to come together. Okay, the hair coming over here. Like that. Okay, that's good. A little bit darker right over there. Okay, after you have the darker color on the outside, you're going to see it's just the face on the shadow is still too light. Okay, it could be too light. In that case, don't hesitate to add it darker. Okay, get a little bit tiny more blue. It's already used up all the blue. Okay, that's good. I'm going to have that a little bit darker inside over here. That's good. A little bit more over here. Like that. That's good. Have this even come out on this side. And this is good. Alright. Have a couple here. And have a little bit shadow over here. This is good. Have a little line over here. Have a little bit dark over here too. Okay, this is pretty good. Okay, maybe I just also put a few lines over here, like that. Okay, here you go. That's good. Like that. That's very good. And we don't have to draw so many lines. We can just soften it and use a little bit softer. Like that. Just use a little bit lighter color. And just put it on. Make it feel a little bit softer as a group. And still have a feel and look a little bit individual. That would be fine. Now this is the good time. Coming back over here to refine. It looks like a little bit blue. You can see that? A little bit tiny more blue. Take a little bit more blue color on the bottom over here. Yeah, as you see, if you see the sweater is red, and there will be the bottom over here, you will see a little bit more red, right? This is good. And now I'm gonna make the ear tinier, a little bit more red. I'm gonna take a little red color, put it on, just the red, put it on top of this. Now the whole ear appears to be warmer. Okay, this is good. Like that. All right, this is good. Now the face should be already dried. Now I'm going to come back to review and also make the shadow side of the face even a little bit softer to the background. That means that need to be darker. Okay, just pay attention to not just the line of the nose, is the whole side. So what I'm going to do, test it. It's already dry. This is pretty good over here. Now we're going to start and squint the eye. You can see how much difference. Or maybe before we do that, we put a little subtle red color on the nose first, because it's still, we need that color very clean. Okay, and the nose is not just light. That's a little bit more red. Now wrap around over here. See where's the highlight? The highlight's right in here. So it's a little bit red around. Okay, outside of the highlights. So they'll support that color, the contrast a little bit more. Now here we go. Now I'm going to, that's the top of the nose. And I'm just going to use the water, the clean water. Now I'm going to soften that a little bit. So make that appear to be a little bit lighter right in this spot. Okay, this is good, like that. And take a look at the top of the side of the nose, right over here. Okay, this is good. Okay, make that a little bit lighter. That's just good. And the bottom over here, I'm gonna have a little bit tiny more red, maybe also a little bit tiny orange. So it's got a little bit yellow mixed into that. Okay, this is good. Right in here. Okay, that's appear to be. And at the bottom, we're gonna see a little bit more shadow. So we actually see a little bit shadow over here. We can just put just a little bit darker color. Okay, you see even inside the nostril, a little bit darker too, like that. Okay, so this is pretty good. And we're gonna work into the outside of the eye here. Okay, like that. Here you go. Right here. Get a little bit softer shading outside, and also the upper eyelid. It has a little bit red. Okay, just also think about how dark that color would be, like right here. That is not so. That's good. I'm gonna have that a little bit tiny, a little bit more blue in it, so it feels a little bit more gray on this side over here. Okay, coming onto this side like that. This is good. I'm gonna also put a little bit brown color into this area as the cast shadow of the hair. Okay, this is good. Wonderful. Now gradually, now we're gonna work it a little bit more into the lower eyelid. Is have a little bit brown, but a little bit warm brown color. So here you go. See that? Right here, right there. Put the color there. and then think about, this is too heavy. So fine, just use the water to smooth this a little bit, and it will become lighter. Okay, here you go. Now we create the illusion of the eyelid. So the nose is not ready, so we're gonna walk into maybe walk into the mouth. Okay, this is good. Get a little red color. We have been ignoring it until this moment. So I'm gonna take just a little bit red with a little bit tiny brownish color. So let's take a look at the whole shape of the mouth. Okay, related to our eye, related to the nose. Okay, the nose is gonna affecting by your decision of the mouth. Okay, that's good. Right over here. Look at that, the whole shape of the mouth. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. And look at that, the mouth is gonna be a little bit apart, a little bit open. So look at that. I think this come up a little bit more. Okay, the comparison measuring is very important in whatever you do. Okay, here you go. The upper lip, more like this. And you can stop and look at it again. Okay, look at that. Okay, that's good. Now here you go. Look at the whole shape. You want to think about it should be higher, a little bit more. You need to relate that to the bottom of the chin. This is the available space that we have. Okay, look at this. Oh, the corner over here. Look at it again. Okay, that's good. Right there. That's good. And we already left a little bit highlight over here, so don't take it away. This is good. And then the lower area of the mouth, I'm going to just have a little bit tiny lighter, maybe just the fresh red. Take a little bit fresh red coming over here, the wrap around, and take a look on this side. The lower lip of the mouth coming in a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Come out a little bit right there. That's good. Okay, here we go. Don't rush. This is good. Have a little bit later. Now the lower lip. Okay, coming over. Okay, this is good. And outside over here, I'm gonna light it up a little bit. I'm gonna let that go. That's good. A little bit lighter, like that. So a little bit lighter at the corner. We may not really want that much, but have the light color over there. It's a very, very good idea. Okay, now I'm gonna get back to the red. We fine tune the top over here. Look at that. There's also very much come up a little bit more. Okay, here you go, like that. That's good. Perfect. Okay, now we already got the shape of the mouth. Now I'm gonna get that a little bit darker, a tiny little bit darker with the brown. And we take a look at right in here. And a little bit darker right on the edge. This is good. And take a look at, I think the side of this, it will be okay, but it will be nice to have this deducted a hair in. This is good, like that. Okay, this is good. That's all right. Now I'm going to take a look at this side of the smiley line area. So I'm going to take this, just a little bit gray color, and take a look. Need to be higher a little bit. I see how close to the eye, lower eyelid, right over here. This is good. And this is a young child, so it doesn't have that deep. So this is good. Put a little soft suggestion. That's good enough. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, very tiny. That already do the work. Now down over here, continue. Come a little bit more. So don't put like everywhere has a very deep color. It's somewhere just very subtle. Okay, here you go. On the side over here, just keep get that little bit cooler brown color. Okay, the corner. And coming down over here, you see, this is good. Now take a look at the lower, right under, and this also on this side, a little bit darker. So we're gonna go into the shadow side just in minutes. Now we're getting the structure on this side pretty well. Now I'm gonna take a look, come back, and start from the forehead, right? You see the whole shadow side. You can see the shadow side start from the top over here. You can see that. That need to be darker. The whole shadow side over here, darker. Coming right here. And here you go, like that. And it's going to be a little bit more. Yeah, let's put that a little bit more blue. Okay, this is a little bit more tiny more blue. Okay, here we go, right here, coming through the eye. And here you go. Now, this is good. And the top over there, and see a little bit soft, get a little bit more yellow. A little bit soft over here. Here you go, like see that? That's a little bit soft, connected to the other eye. Okay, this is good. And now we're gonna take a look at, and let's get a little bit yellow and the blue. Just all the three colors. There's just no other color you can think about. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna have a little bit more red over here. This is good, tiny little bit more red. All right, now we're gonna take a look at outside the eye over here. Here we go. Now we can define the shape of their eye. Can you see that? Right here, coming over. Now here we go. Now I'll take a look at where's the top of the nose. Should be right here. Right here. That's just good. All right, look at it one more time. That's a very good decision. Very important decision. I'm gonna coming down over here. Okay. And okay, one more time. This is good. It looks like you need to come back here. Okay, need to come back here. It looks like you need to come a little bit closer. Here you go. That's make it a little bit, come back a little bit here. This is good. All right, I'm gonna have this color also under the nose over here. Now I'm gonna make this color, spread it into the whole shadow side. Onto the whole shadow. Okay, look at that. That's a little bit darker over there. Now you're gonna keep coming down, and we can light up some area if you need to. I'm gonna have a little bit darker color. Take a look at here. There's also a very important decision like that. Is that the angle right? Okay, I need to come in a little bit. The angle is right. Come in tiny more. Okay, that's just good. Okay, now keep coming down over here. And here you go. Now take a look at the shadow. Under. There you go. And at the chin, a little bit more red. Okay, I'm going to put that a little bit red over here. So you can see this round of pink of this step is very, very crucial, right? Or you're not going to getting the shape, the form correctly. Yeah, gonna get a little bit tiny more red over here. Okay, slow down, be patient, and trust that you can do anything you want to do. It's the only thing we need to learn is that mindset and the process. Okay, that's good. Like down over here can be slowly also have a little bit darker. So with this dark color, not just red, have a little bit tiny yellow too. Okay, a bit tiny right over here. You can see that there's a little bit shadow under. Okay, now you can make the face look more round. Now coming to the cheek over here, I'm gonna take a little bit fresh red, just the red. Okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna put this right over here. That's a little bit tiny more red. Okay, wonderful, like that. Here we go. That's good. And the bottom of the nose have that color too. Okay, don't touch the shadow side. Just make a little bit tiny. Be sensitive of that. Okay, this is pretty good. Take a look at that, little by little, right? Now just soften a little bit. That's good. That's good. So when you do the softening, don't add too much water to it. Okay, just use a damp brush and just remove the color. That's it. Okay, now do you know what? If I'm gonna put a little bit dark color inside the mouth, you're gonna see the mouth parted. Okay, let the shadow side dry a little bit, few more minutes. I'm gonna get that, the blue, the Prussian blue, and the red color. Take the color from the side. Okay, this is good. Now this color a lot darker than what we already have there. Okay, think about how you're gonna apply the color. Okay, that's good. Look at that. Everything just is shape. Okay, here we go. Put that little color there. That's good. A little bit over here. A little bit apart. Bad. Come a little bit smaller. Smaller. Look at that. Good. Coming to the corner of the mouth. Like that. Now you can see she is opening up. Okay. And I need to think about whether or not the mouth need to become a little bit more to the left or to the right. Right? I think this is about right, but the corner of the lower lip, it just have to move a very little out a bit. Okay, very tiny. Okay, that's good. Like that. And lower lip over here also have a little bit line like that. Seeing the texture of that. Very nice. Okay, that's good. And now I'm gonna set a little color to the side and maybe a little bit more greenish color. Okay, now take a look at the mouth over here. The top over there is coming in a little bit. Okay, here we go. Coming here. The bottom of that. And then take a look. They're coming in a little bit more. That's just beautiful. Like that. Here we go. And this is good. And over here. This is good. Like that. Okay. And we come back to do a little bit more later. But this is pretty good. Now the shadow side is already dark enough. That looks just pretty good. And I'm going to take a look at whether or not I need to light up some area. Like over here. Inside the eye over here. I can light up a little bit more. I think that is a little bit. I need to put a little bit more clear on the outside. But here right now, it's just light up a little bit, tiny, a little bit more over here. This is good. And on the side over here, it just make it a little bit look like a small flat brush. And make this tiny a little bit lighter. So a little bit softer. That's just good. And the top over here, a member already asking, should I be caring about the changes inside the shadow, the cheek? Okay, and that is smaller area, so you can actually using lifting off to actually to create that a little bit soft shape, but figure out the whole shape of the shadow first. That's most important. And now it looks much better. Okay, that's maybe still a little bit too much contrast. Okay, let's see if I want a little bit red, tiny more red. This is good. I'm gonna have that soft over. That's good. Okay, that's good. Like that. And the corner of the nose. When you get the nostril, it will look much better. Now I'm gonna come back to give it a little bit on the side of the nose, a little bit tiny, not very dark, but a little bit tiny right here. Okay, here you go, like that. That's good. And on the edge over here, like that. That's pretty good. And now we're gonna add the cast shadow and the shadow side of the nose. A little bit too early. Need to come back in a bit. So this is good. Let's take a look at the neck then. So get the yellow with the red and the blue together. And see that could be a little bit tiny more red again. Just a tiny more. Now take a look at it here. Need to be a little bit more darker. Okay, that's good. Like that, over, and that's good. Coming over here, coming up to the jar. Okay, the bottom over here, a little bit more richer down over here. This is pretty good. And you can see the neck pretty well. And I can have this color. It's be part of the hair. Okay, like that. And a little bit more. This is good. I have a few suggestions of the movement of the hair. That's fine. And over here, have a little bit suggestions. Seeing you don't have to do a whole lot. Okay. And here, the top over there, you need to come in a little bit more too. Okay, over here, need to come in a little bit more. So I'm going to mix a little bit brown color. So get the yellow. Okay, and there's a lot of watercolor portrait lessons already in the learning center. If you're a member, just go to the learning center. If you have any problem and with the learning center, and reach out to me. I'll respond to you very quickly. Okay, here we go. And here you go, like that. And this is good. Now we make the outside of the sweater much better, just like that. And that's pretty good. Soften that tiny more, and over there I can soften that a little bit tiny more. So just give it a little love. Enjoy your process. Okay, here you go. Okay, here you go. That's good. Okay, and we're gonna paint the hair on the top after we finish the face. The structure getting better and better. Hopefully you understand what it means, the structure. And I'm looking for the form, the shape, how the muscle, the bone, and underneath the skin. That is very crucial, right? It's getting little by little, getting there. The nose over here is still a little wet. So now I'm going to work into the eye. Okay, this is what you're looking for, right? For a while. Now I'm going to take a look at this eye first. So the structure, the shadow is already right. So we're just going to take a look at what is the color. So I think it's a little bit more red. So this is the color for the eye shape. Okay. Take a look at that. Right here. Inside right here. Here we go. Like that. Take a look. That's good. Coming a little bit down over here. Carefully. Okay. Now take a look at the shape of the eye. Okay, here we go. Coming over here. Look at it. How it turn. This is good. And take a look at this corner. Should it be a little bit in? Okay, I think the in a little bit here. In over here. Like that. That is good. Getting that. And I know that the color is going to end up to be even darker for those lines. But I've put this color down first. I'm going to have this here too. And have a line coming over. And this line a little bit tiny more red. So I'm going to take a little bit tiny more red. Okay, this is good. Let's take a look at that. And look at a little bit lower. Like that. That's good. Coming all the way over. Coming over. Yeah. Like that. Wrap around. That's good. Okay, and the top can be a little bit tiny more. Just use a very light color. So lead the color softly going up and over here. Like that. This is pretty good. Now I'm gonna work inside the eye. Have a little bit tiny more blue. So gonna take a little bit more blue. This is good. I'm gonna put that right in over here. Okay, here we go. The eye white have a little bit tiny blue. Let me make a little bit dimmer. Maybe a little bit tiny more blue. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, right there. Put it there. That's good. Okay, now take a look at the other eye. Maybe we also do the same thing for the other eye first, right? Now it's already dry, so I'm gonna take that a little bit more red, also a little bit more tiny blue, and you take that color pretty well. Start from a little bit lighter. Take a look at where's the eye and the inside over here, right over here. Look at it one more time. Okay, that's good. Okay, coming a little bit more in right here. That's good, like that. And also have a little bit tiny color. Maybe this color a little bit too dark. So come back a little bit later. Take a look at inside the eye over here. Here we go. Like that, coming over. This is good. And the eye line and the top, draw that line. But that line is usually not just alone or isolated. It actually relates to the shape around. Okay, right here. And on this side, also a little bit graduate. Now take a look at the inside eye wall. Yeah, get a little bit tiny more darker. So get the red and the blue. And look at that color. Is that color a little bit warmer, a little bit cooler color? Okay, this is good. Okay, now take a look at here. The inside, the eye wall. Okay, right here. Look at that. I'm going to draw that little bit tiny line over here like this. Wonderful. That is it. The eye inside. Okay, that's good. Now we can draw this line. This is seeing the inside of the eye. Okay, coming over here. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. And outside, a little bit, have a little bit darker. You can see the eyelashes too. I can do that a little bit later. Now I come back over here. This also a little bit dark, tiny darker. Okay, right here, like that. This is good. Okay, then we're gonna come back over here to shade the whole color with a little bit more brown, dark brown color. So I'm gonna get that a little bit blue in it. It's not that much about. It's not bright. Okay, it's a little bit brown. So I'm gonna get a little bit more red into this. This is good. Makes the correct color. Okay, now take a look over here. Okay, here we go. Coming over here. Look at that. That's good. And take a look at the bottom over here. And that whole eye needs to move a little bit more and to the right side. Okay, this is good. And take a look at that right here on this side. Right here. Just moving a hair a little bit over. It make a huge difference. Okay, there, here we go. And trust yourself. You can control all this. Okay, here we go. Like that. And that's good. Right about a little bit less than middle. Now I'm going to draw that out. Here you go. Look at it again. And we're going to have darker color in the inside. In a bit, we are going to finish it. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's good. Very good. make it a little bit more round. Okay, now we're gonna go into the other side. The same thing. We don't need lots of paint, so it's just tiny small shape. Okay, now take a look at right here. Okay, here we go, like that. I'm going to reshape the tip. Okay, here you go. That's good. Take a look at on this side. We can see that a little bit tiny over here. Star over here. And see the iris right here. Like that. Now take a look on both sides. Is that right? Is that match? Okay, here you go. Yeah, we can just leave that a little bit highlight. Okay, this is good. Okay, that's good. That's wonderful. Now we have both irises in. Now I'm gonna have just a little bit tiny color underneath for the right under the eye. That's a little bit those eyelashes. So if you use a lot of eyelashes together, you appear to be like a one gray shape area. Okay, like that. And also on this side, also a little bit darker too. Okay, here we go, like that. Wonderful. This is good. Now take a look at it on the nose ridge over here. A little bit tiny coming over, and this also can be a little bit tiny darker. Now we just give a little bit tiny suggestions, and that you see that is his eyebrow. Okay, doesn't really need that much. Okay, the eyebrow is very light. Go right over here, like that too. Have a little bit tiny here, on the top over here. That's the eyebrow. Okay, that's good. Okay, the eye's getting there, and now we're going to give a little bit tiny subtle suggestions inside the eye over here. You can see that there's a little bit coming over like this. I also see a little bit light color on the outside. Okay, we're not going to use opaque color. Okay, we're just going to light it up if we need to. Okay, here you go. Now I'm going to use this calligraphy brush. If I just remove a little color, this line a little bit more. That's good. That's good enough. Now see that, move that a little bit over. That's good enough. Now take a look at the corner, and of this side is the tear dot area. And here you go. I'm gonna have that a little bit tiny in. That's good, like that. And we also can see a little bit eyelashes in the lower. Okay, so we're gonna put tiny a little bit more. Sometimes you have to hold your breath. Okay, here you go. A little bit more like that. That's good suggestions. Okay, that's good. The corner over here, and there's a little bit darker right there. So seeing a little bit eyelashes on the top. That's good. And over here, a little bit darker too. And we're gonna have a little bit darker, deeper for the cast shadow. Okay, this is good. And the upper over there and the eye line, we also need to make it a little bit more clear right here. Okay, look at it. That's good. A little bit tiny more. That's all over here. The eyebrow, a little bit more. Eyebrow over here, tiny more. That's good. Okay, now we're gonna use a little bit darker tone. So get the blue, a little bit more blue, a little bit more red. Okay, and the color will look darker. I'm gonna take a look at that. A little bit tiny more blue. Okay, this is good. Now we are going to make the darker area, like the pupil and the shadow in the eye. Okay, the pupil is right in the middle over here. Okay, right there. Just one dot. That's all you need. Okay, a little bit tiny more blue. Okay, that's good. Look at that. A little bit tiny more. That's good. And then on the side over here. Okay, that's good. On the side over here. Now we're gonna have also a little bit darker edge over here like that. That's good. On this side, also a little bit more clear, sharper. Okay, that's good. And also in the middle, divide this light shape. I'm going to divide it into two. That's good. Like that. Take a look on the other side, the top over here. Also a little bit darker. And the pupil right in the middle. Okay. And here, also a little bit darker. Look first, okay, could be each eye is different because reflected from the environment a little bit different. Okay, that's good. Look at this corner. Okay, the eye looks pretty good. Now we're working into the nose. Okay. Oh, by the way, the inside of the eye on this side, it need to be a little bit darker too. That it doesn't really, the looks that corner a little bit pop out. That means it's a little bit too dark. So here we go, right there. And right in the corner over there can have a little bit tiny more red. And I know it is probably driving you crazy. It's about too much work, right? It's not too much work, too much fun. Okay, a little bit more red in there. Also, this also pop out a little bit too much. In that case, you need to also make it a little bit tiny darker. So add a little bit tiny blue in it too. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's good. And we can also make the outside over here. Little bit suggestions. Let's see. That's good. All right. We can have a little bit tiny blue color. And see that coming a little bit toward this corner from the lower eyelid. That's good. Coming over here too. There's seeing that. There's a little bit light shape over there. Okay. That's all very important. Let's pop up a little bit too much. You soften that a little bit. So gradually integrate it into the larger shape. Okay, this may be a little bit too clear. I'm going to soften that a little bit more. This is good. Let's get down to the nose. And now this is all dry, the nose. Now I'm going to take this color, a little bit warm brown color. This is good. Let's take a look from here, coming down. Don't look at inside the shape yet. Just look at the whole shape on the shadow over here, how it comes down. That's good. In the middle over here. And right there. Okay, that's good. Now also gonna use a little bit more red. You can see it, a little bit tiny more red for the nostril. Okay, here we go. And from here, look at the shape of the nostril. Maybe a little bit tiny darker. So get a little bit more red. Look at that. If we can do that once instead of twice. Okay, that's good. Now let's see. Look at it again. Think about how you apply the brush. You can achieve that. Okay, push it down a little bit and coming down over here. Okay, this is pretty good. At the bottom, we're gonna have just a little bit lighter. Okay, so I add a little bit tiny water it can achieve that. Okay, right at the bottom over here. That's good. Like that. Okay. Okay, a little bit tiny darker. Get a little bit more blue. And the red. Just a little bit tiny. Darker. Take a look. And right at the bottom over here. Coming in a little bit more. Perfect. Okay. That's good. Let's take a look at the corner of this mouth. It'll be a little bit tiny, a little bit more darker. So not much. Just seeing that it's come out a little bit more like that. And take a look at the little red color on the side over here. So a little bit tiny more red on the side of the face over here, coming down over here. Like that. I can actually move that couple times and I can make that expand the shape a little bit already. This is good. Okay, this is pretty good. Over here, soften that a little bit. Okay, let's take a look. And outside the jar over here, I'm gonna have this like using the tip facing the outside edge like that. Okay, come in here. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna have a little bit tiny more blue and have it right over here like that. That's good. I can even have the tiny more blue keep coming in a little bit more. Okay, see that the face looks very nice. And it's not about one stroke you make that happen. It takes steps, right? And you need to be gradually from the outside to the inside. I'm gonna paint a little bit detail in the ear. Here we go, like that. And coming over here, that's a little bit suggestions that it make it happen. Okay, that's good. A little bit suggestions of the hair. That's good. All right, maybe the good time for me to actually put a little bit tiny more detail. And I think the hair over here is fine. I don't have to do a lot more to it. And I think the hair in here, I'm gonna have a little bit yellow and the red over here. And a little bit more red. Have the blue over here too. That's good. Okay, maybe a little bit more yellow and the blue. So it's a little bit too bright, too orange. So that's good. A little bit tiny more. That's perfect. That's just the color we want. Now take a look at here, right over here, the hair. Now we're doing this to make it feel like, okay, the hair coming over here. Here we go. Okay, coming over. There's a little hair like that coming over. So by a little bit lighter than that. Okay, here you go. A little bit hair coming over here too. Coming down over here. A little bit tiny. Okay, that's good enough. And this coming over. You got a little bit coming down like this. This is good. And that make that some area a little bit darker. That. Now this is good. Getting the hair in. Looks very interesting. Now I'm gonna soften that a little bit. Just make this to be a small flat brush shape. I'm just going to light up this. Consider this still pretty wet, okay? It's just light up a little bit. That's good enough. And make that a little bit softer. That a little bit light up and coming over. That's a little bit softer, like that. That's good. Make it very natural. Now, what I would like to do, I'm gonna come back with the flat brush. Now, this is very important. 45 degree, I always saying that. Shape it straight. And now what I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna just keep using just this angle, like this. Keep doing that, a little bit tiny shape. I'm gonna cross over here. Okay, right here. A few times. It creates a soft edge. That is good. I'm gonna have this coming over here too. So all the thing that you do, it create the impression. Okay, that's good. Coming up here. It's good. Like that. And out here, coming up. And we can do the same thing over here. I'm gonna soften that a little bit over here. Oh, here we go. Now, so make the impression even stronger, right? And I can have this moving up a little bit more. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Look at that here. Okay, lifting off and making the hair look more natural. Okay, here we go. That's good. And now coming down over here. Now I'm also going to soften this area. If you want to group the hair a little bit better, okay, shape it into the water. Okay, like that. That's just good. And now the face looks pretty good already. And I'm going to just have a little bit more blue color over here. Now I'm going to have this a little bit graduate turning. Okay, just make that color soft over a little bit. That's just good. And tiny a little bit, even tiny a little bit more. Okay, like that. Have this, put the color in. And a little bit over here too. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Like that, a little bit softer. Also using this a little bit light blue color coming over. That's good. Okay, now I'm gonna light this up a little bit. Okay, that's just good. Now I'm gonna do a little bit yellow and red together. So you know what? There's two color. With the green color, it would more like a connected. So maybe this is a little bit too bright. Maybe this is just a good addition. So I'm gonna see. Get a little bit more red. And here you go. Make it a little bit tiny feeling of the brownish. Okay, over here too. Okay, a little bit more red. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, fill in the white with this a little bit soft. Okay, here we go. That's good. Like that. I can keep that color over here. And now I want to actually add a little bit soft color in the outside over here as well. I do want to actually maybe add just a little bit tiny color right here. That's good. Like that. And have the color coming down a little bit soft. Okay, that's good. And again, leave that color there. That'll be fine. Over here, a little bit soft over here too. And I'm gonna have that. That's a little bit good. Like that. Okay, I think the face is pretty good. Do you think? And maybe the neck have a little bit tiny, a little bit transition. A little bit from the light and the shadow. That over here, a little bit darker. Just a little bit here. That's good. And that's good right there. Now I'm going to decide to add a little bit tiny color, tiny details to the sweater. Okay. First, I'm going to add that a little bit here. And over here. That's good. And now we're going to look at the entire painting. Oh, on the chin over here, I decided to moving in a little bit tiny more. And I think that makes a little bit darker brown color. Okay, here you go. Get a little bit yellow. Okay, this is good. Tiny more red. Okay, I think her chin a little bit more sharper. Okay, here we go. Right there. Like that. Very, very interesting. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now you see the chin a little bit sharper. Okay, that's good. And I'm gonna make this also close up a little bit. Okay, that's very nice. And that's good. Now since I have the dark color, I'm also gonna put a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, like that. It's a little bit soft. Okay, now we look at the whole painting. First thing, I'm gonna look at something at the top over here. Get a little bit yellow. I want it to be a little bit brighter. Okay, here we go. Have a little bit yellow. And have that tiny a little bit softer. Okay, this is good. Tiny a little bit softer. It's already better. And now I'm gonna have tiny more yellow. I'm gonna make this a little bit brighter yellow. Like that. This is good. And a little bit more. And now I'm gonna have just tiny a little bit more red and the brown color right over here. Like that. That's good. Okay. I'm gonna let go. This is the yellow paint coming down a little bit too much. So that's okay. Maybe just, I'm gonna keep using the large brush. It's easier to do it that way. So I'm gonna have this also. Okay, like that. Okay, a little bit more blue. A little bit more blue. A little bit more yellow. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna have that a little bit deeper on the outside. So it helps to see the form of the head. That's good. Like that. A little bit more right here. That's good. The bottom over here can be a little bit darker here too. And seeing the shape of the hair. This is good. Now we see, try to help the main object by alternate maybe some of the outside shape. Okay, I'm gonna have that softly like that. Here you go. Still keep enough clear edge. So that's good. That's good. Okay, this looks good on the outside. Now I'll take a look at in the sweater. Now I'm gonna take a look. And I'm gonna just take this color, have a little bit blue, and this is good. Now I'm gonna take a look at that right over here, coming down, and a little bit turning. Let's see that, and I'm gonna have that coming over here. You see, it created impressions of the arm inside. Okay, here you go. Like that coming over. That's good. Like that coming down over here. That's good. Right there. Okay. That's good. I can even have just put a few lines. Suggested that is the sweater. Right, that's good. Some line coming down like this. Put a few shape. That's good. Look at that. The front over here. And now let's take a look at the bottom. Here's good. I'm also going to put a few lines like this. Okay, that's good. Like that. Okay, that's just good. Now take a look at this. Another, keep using this actually more of the red shade blue color, and can be a little bit green shade blue color. It's not. Now I'm gonna take a look at a little bit red, put into it, a little bit tiny red. Okay, here you go. This is good. A little bit lighter. Now I'm gonna put this a little bit turn. Okay, there's a little bit shape here, and a little shape over here, like that. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna have that coming over. This is pretty good. I'm gonna have that. Take a look at the back over here. And there's one line coming down like this. Yeah, like that. And that's good. And I'm going to soften that a little bit tiny more. This is interesting. Now take a look at, so we're not going to get into the details too much. So I'm going to have this a little big shape coming down like this. A little, say, narrow shape, okay, coming down over here like that. And outside over here, I have a little big shape like this. So it's pretty good. And I'm going to also have a little bit suggestions of the texture. Okay, I'm gonna have that texture. Okay, here we go. Okay, I have the texture. Seeing that it's coming down this way, and here you go. You don't have to have the line all connected. It's just put a few line. Okay, over here too, I have a little bit tiny more blue, and like that. There you go. Like almost like doing dry brushes. That's pretty fine. Okay, you're seeing how the movement coming down from the top. Okay, in the back over here can be a little bit tiny softer. Okay, here you go. One line, a little line. Okay, that's good. Just give a little bit more accents, some interesting. Okay, a little bit softer right there. And take a look. And the front over here, maybe over here, can be also the shadow. And the front over here, make a little bit turn. Okay, a little bit turn over here like that. And maybe this color going into the background because you don't want the background look like isolated. Okay, have that over here. This is good. Okay, have that feel consistent texture like coming to the outside. So feel like I parked up the clothing texture going on the outside over here. I'm gonna get a little bit red, tiny more red. I'm gonna glaze over here on the outside over here too. Okay, that's good. And this can be a little bit clear, and they keep that a little bit soft, but down over here can be a little bit more clear. This is good. I'm gonna have a little bit darker. Yeah, a little bit darker. The red and the blue. I'm gonna have that little bit coming over here, a little bit over here too, like that. That's interesting. And also the dark color, a little bit dark color over here too. So if you don't want the dark color to be so clear, that is, you can soften that a little bit from the top over here. Just use the make it a fresh shape with the calligraphy brush. Here you go. Like a little bit softer. And a little bit softer here. And maybe over here. Right here. I'm gonna have that also a little bit darker. Like that. Nice. Okay, a little bit darker over here too. Maybe this time add a little bit dark color on the outside here. A little bit darker here too as well. And it's very important to get that all kind of consistency of brush stroke. This inside over here a little bit darker too. Okay, a little bit. Put a couple shape. That's good enough. And then this painting, I call it a finish.